welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Maxine, and Maxine is from Celebrity Cruises, and I'm very excited to meet with Maxine again. As you can see in all our playlists, I've met her numerous times. She is a wealth of information on celebrity, and we're just going to be covering some of their itineraries, some of their new ships, and just what's going on in the world of celebrity. So over to you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. It's a pleasure. The sun is shining. It's spring. We're feeling it in all regards, from new bookings coming in, the restrictions leaving us as well. So we're seeing a huge amount of people interested in travel, and sooner rather than later, in a fashion we've never seen before.
Exactly. So, I think I read an article about that, and it was saying that the Canadian passports is just overwhelmed. It's like 6 times the amount that it was prior to the pandemic. So everybody is wanting to renew their passports. Don't leave it to the last minute, guys, because you're not going to get it. But it's just everybody wants to travel. You're absolutely right.
That's brilliant. Yes, I did even see that they're going to work on, the backlog, essentially, if they had been closed for multiple years. So definitely take a look at your passport. Luckily, mine doesn't expire until 2027. I got a 10-year back in 2017.
That's exactly when mine expires too. I think it's like September 2027. So yeah, lots of time. We're good.
Lots of time. So if you are thinking about traveling, and one thing that's very important, and why, having you as a travel agent expert to guide them, is the fact that most countries need 4 to 6 months left on the passport. So, you would think, well, it doesn't expire until September, but they won't actually let you into their country. So you want to get that renewed pretty early. But when we think about where everyone is going right now, well, we still have a couple Caribbean cruises left. In fact, we do have 2 ships that sail all year round in the Caribbean. So we have some wonderful summer opportunities in the Caribbean from Florida. And we see that's great for family reunions, great for weddings, great for summer camp for the families. So 2 phenomenal ships in the Caribbean, but we're seeing a huge amount of interest in Alaska, in Europe, and in Bermuda.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. That's awesome. And one thing to note as well, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go to the Caribbean in the summer, but the weather isn't that much different. I think it's like 2 degrees and they always have those ocean breezes. So it's really not that big of a deal. But if you have a choice, Caribbean or Europe and Alaska, I know what I'd be choosing. I'm going to Europe and Alaska for sure.
It's true. If you're heat adverse, I mean, it's really fantastic for snorkeling, scuba, adventures, catamarans. The things you're doing in each port, from a cruise standpoint, what I love about cruising, of course, continues to be the multiple destinations. I don't like to necessarily sit still for too many days. So it's great that you have a change of environment. You get to explore new islands that maybe you've never been to. But if you're doing adventure, you're going to be refreshed and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. But if you are heat adverse, then Alaska's phenomenal. It's actually warm in Alaska in the summer. We're in the southeast part of Alaska with 3 cruises, round trip Vancouver, round trip Seattle, even a one-way that goes all the way much more north into Alaska than any other. And so seeing the glaciers, seeing the wildlife, it's an incredible opportunity this summer, more than ever before, because still the ships aren't full. The deals are amazing. I have never seen pricing like I am right now. So if you have been thinking and dreaming and hoping and waiting for Alaska, it's a very, very unique time to be one of the first. We've been sailing for almost a year now, but we didn't have a full Alaska season last year. We had 1 ship for maybe a month and a half, because we needed to get back. So this is a great opportunity. Have you been hearing a lot of inquiries about Alaska?
About Alaska? Absolutely. Yes. And my personal favorite, and I mean, everybody likes different things, but my personal favorite is the one-way, just because you see so much more. You can go, further north, you do a lot more exploration. You see more of the fjords and the passages, and to me, that's what I like, but I completely understand why people would like round trip Seattle, so that you know what airport you're flying out of. It's, comfortable, same as Vancouver. It's all personal choice. But for me, I like the one way. But absolutely, yes, a ton of questions about Alaska.
It's the ultimate because just as you said, all three of the choices are 7 nights. So they're all the same length of cruise. So it's still a 1 week, but because you're not circling back, you can go to double the amount of ports in 7 nights versus getting, halfway and turning back around.
Right.
So then we do something really special up in Alaska. It's the land tour. And so that's only available if you are on the one way. So if you really want to see Alaska, you want to do both cruise and land. So for example, you would fly into Vancouver. You would sail 7 nights north, Glaciers, Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, the train ride that goes into the Yukon. I mean, really experiencing Alaska. And then when you finish, it's in a town called Seward, Alaska, about 45 minutes south of Anchorage. And then you have the choice of 2 nights up to 6 nights going inland. So if you've heard of Denali National Park, Fairbanks is the most northern point. So imagine you're in Fairbanks in August. You're going to see that midnight sun. That's how far north you are.
Oh, amazing.
Very, very cool. The sun just kind of dips under the horizon and then pops back up in about 30 minutes. So that's a pretty unique experience.
It is.
And so you're staying at local lodging. You can go ATVing, zip lining, whitewater rafting down the Denali River. So it is a spectacular summer adventure for all ages.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And if you can't go in the summer, sometimes the shoulder seasons, pardon me, that came out weird, has the northern lights as well. So it all depends on what you want to see. So the midnight sun is completely fascinating and amazing to see, as is the northern lights and all those things. So there's never a wrong time to see Alaska.
I couldn't agree more. It's absolutely true. So this week, I'm so excited. We have a brand new ship to debut. All weekend long, I was looking at the news about it because we had the president fly over and do some meet and greets and kind of just gearing up for the maiden voyage, which leaves in 2 days' time. The ship is called Celebrity Beyond, and she's in my personal favorite summer destination, which is the Mediterranean.
Yay, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. You've got a new one coming out. That's great. And I understand Captain Kate is going to be at the helm.
She is. She's already there. She is the captain of Celebrity Beyond. It's pretty spectacular to think of everything we've gone through in the last over 2 years. And behind the scenes, the ship build never stopped. We had the faith and confidence and perseverance to push through. So she's perfectly on schedule, on track, and absolutely stunning. Most beautiful ship in the world, for the fact that the design is all cultivating connection. So beautiful outdoor spaces is something that I think is most important on my cruise. And so one of my favorite venues, and we've talked about it before, is the Sunset Bar at the back of the ship. It has these Moroccan style archways, beautiful couches, lounge, just to connect with the surroundings and the people you're with.
Yeah. And you feel like you're in your own living room with your multi-generational family. Like you've got your grandparents there, you've got your kids, and you're all just looking at that gorgeous sunset as you're just relaxing and sailing away. That's beautiful.
I think the Mediterranean for families is such a special trip to take together. Even if maybe ancestry, dates back to Italy or some of the places we're visiting, but nonetheless, there's nothing richer than learning and traveling and experiencing it at all ages. And cruising does that in such a comfortable fashion because it's valet parking is how I describe it. You wake up in a new place. You didn't have to rent a car or get on a train or a plane, and you're going from Spain, Italy, France, Malta, the islands, Sicily, Corsica, Sardinia. It's spectacular all the way over to Greece as well. So that's what I love about the Mediterranean is how special it is to go to so many different destinations and not have to do all the logistics in between.
Right. Yeah. All the unpacking and figuring out how am I going to get from point A to point B? Because I want to look at everything. Whereas if you're going over yourself, you're doing a land portion, you're kind of thinking, I'm just in this one area and there's so much more to explore. And taking a cruise ship is perfect way to do it.
Especially for your first time, because you come home kind of feeling like an expert, oh, I've just been to 5 different countries, It makes it very easy. So this summer we have 6 ships in Europe. Okay. We have 2 in the northern area, leaving from Amsterdam and London or Southampton, England. And so imagine the Norwegian fjords, Iceland, British Isles, a little bit of Scandinavia with Finland and Sweden. It's pretty spectacular up there.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But the majority of our ships are in the southern Mediterranean. So you can leave from Barcelona, from Rome, from Venice, from Athens, Greece. And what Celebrity does exceptionally well is the overnight stays. We actually do stay longer. So sometimes in Santorini, for example, we'll stay past 10 p.m. because in my personal opinion, Santorini has the most beautiful sunsets in the world. You're just kind of on top of this volcanic cliff looking out onto the ocean, spectacular colors, pink skies. So it's nice to be able to be the last one there. All the other ships are gone and have that unique experience. And then in a lot of places in Italy, we would have overnights, like in a place called La Spezia, which is your gateway to Cinque Terre, to Florence, to Pisa. So you want to have multiple days there, and you can do that on a Celebrity cruise.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah, that's really great. Because then you can also check out the nightlife. Like you said, you get those gorgeous sunsets, and I'm a sucker for a sunset. I just love sunsets at sea. It's a huge highlight for me, but you can also go into town after and just see, the nightlife and to check out the local eateries that are there and enjoy that quite a bit more rather than leaving, at 5 p.m. and heading off to the next one. So you're really immersed in the culture. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. For those who have never cruised before, they ask me all the time, well, I don't want to feel rushed. I want to be at my own pace. And you really can do that in the Mediterranean. The door simply stays open. I remember I did an overnight in Cannes, France. And it happened, this itinerary was in late May and perfectly coincided with the film festival, the Cannes Film Festival. So I walked off, there was the red carpet being rolled out. It was day 1. There were fireworks over the bay, all these amazing yachts. And we stayed there for 2 days. So I took the train to Monaco, spent the afternoon in Villefranche, went to Nice. I love the Mediterranean because everything's so close and accessible. So your port city is just your valet parking, and then you can go from there.
Right. Yeah. Now, a question about that. Do you need to bring your passport with you then if you're going to all those places, or is it just, you get off and you're enjoying a new culture?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. For the most part, most of Europe is open, right? So no, you wouldn't need your passport from France to Monaco. Perfect. You definitely want to check if you're going across country borders. Yes. That I think is a very unique scenario. Most others you wouldn't necessarily do that. But no, for a cruise, it's closed loop. So you're not doing customs in every port you're visiting. Wonderful. Because you are part of the cruise itinerary. If you miss the ship at the end of the day, then you might need your passport to fly to the next port. But that doesn't happen so often. And that's why we always recommend a Celebrity shore excursion, because we know where you are. We can have communication throughout the day. Correct. And if something were, a pack of lamb were in the middle of the street blocking your tour bus to come home, then we could wait for you if you're part of a Celebrity shore excursion and we know where you are. So
right. And that's the kind of traffic jam I like. You just got the herd of sheep or whatever it is, and you just it's wildlife, right? And that's much better than just people everywhere. So that's great.
Exactly. And again, and that's what's so special about traveling sooner than later. We already have that pent-up demand from not going in 2020 and not going in 21. But still in 22, I'm surprised to say there's still space available, even on that brand new Celebrity Beyond. So what we're seeing are people are calling and they're booking only a month out. You know, if it were Caribbean cruises or something closer to home, I'm seeing even 2 weeks before the trip. They're just saying, you know, we had that flash
Gotta do it. Yep.
snowfall. It's like, get me out of here, one last chance.
Yes. Oh, I felt so bad for the I think it was Winnipeg that got all that snow, and goodness. Yeah, I have a client in Winnipeg and she sent me a picture of it and I thought, oh, you need an escape. Let's go. Let's just go somewhere. So,
Because you
thank
escape one last chance, one last time, and by the time you get back, we got it we got it all organized and fixed back home.
Yeah, amazing.
A really special, my next cruise is to Bermuda.
Okay, yeah.
I love our Bermuda cruises. First reason being they leave from New York. So there's a port called Cape Liberty on the New Jersey border. And so very quick flight for me being from Toronto. And then we actually do a scenic cruise all the way up the Hudson, past the Statue of Liberty, kind of do a 180 right at the lower Manhattan. So just spectacular view. Yeah. And then we head out. Now this is going to be a 10-night cruise that also goes to Rhode Island. I've never been to Rhode Island. Yeah. So we're going to Newport.
Wow. Yeah.
And then we're going to Charleston, South Carolina for 2 days. So that's another overnight there. Yeah. And then we sail over to Bermuda for 3 days for a double overnight.
Yeah.
And Bermuda's pink sand beaches, crystal caves. It's such a small, quaint, welcoming island that's kind of, you know, it stands on its own. It's not in the Caribbean. It's just in the middle of the Atlantic. So that's another wonderful summer destination. Really well-known golf courses there, but on its own, Bermuda can be quite expensive. Hotels and so cruising is your best way to do that as well.
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you're there for 2 nights. So that's, you know, just perfect. So you don't need to worry about the hotels or unpacking and repacking and transportation. So that's
you could get multiple rounds of golf in and still go to the beach and have the nightlife, go to the Hamilton Harbor. It's absolutely I love that as a summer destination.
Yeah. And I personally like the New York port, the Cape Liberty, just because for us, we prefer, you know, once you figure if you're flying, you have to get to the airport 3 hours early and same 3 hours come back. Well, it's only a 7-hour drive from where we are. So we personally like to drive to Cape Liberty because, you know, it's pretty much the same as sitting around an airport, right? And the parking is literally steps from the ship. Like you could just throw a stone. It's a stone's throw. And I don't mean that, you know, figuratively. It is literally steps away. I think it was maybe 1 minute walk. And that's probably just, you know, exaggerating. It was so close and it was just really nice. And the parking was, at the time I went, last couple of times, about $200 for the week. So if you've got a big family, that's cheaper than flying as well. So it's a great way to go there and to get there. Yeah.
I did do the drive once.
Yeah.
It
wasn't for you. Yeah.
It was, well, no, it's absolutely fine. And just like you said, it's definitely, for me, it was cheaper than flying because I did the New Year's cruise.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
you know, that can be an expensive flight to get on a New Year's cruise. It could have been $1,000. So I said, okay, I'll just drive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's, you know, it's nice. And you get to stop a little bit along the way, stretch your legs, look at new things, and then show up at port and away you go and explore the world.
Sure. You know, if the cruise leaves on a Sunday or Monday, you might drive in on the Friday, catch a Broadway show. If you're not so familiar with New York, do some shopping. So you do get to do a little bit of a bundle and pair the pre-cruise, post-cruise with the actual cruise destination. Now, this ship does something quite special in August. It's a one-way cruise, and you kind of, you know, alluded that you like one-ways because you can go further distances than round trip. Can you imagine? It leaves from Cape Liberty. It goes up the coast through Halifax and pops over to Greenland and Iceland.
My goodness. Oh, that is a dream. That's one of my bucket lists. Yep. That would be great.
I don't know many people that would commit to a flight to Greenland, but if it's part of a cruise and, you know, you get 2 days in Greenland, there's some great adventures, some really nice shore excursions, waterfalls and hiking. It's spectacular. I think that would be a wonderful way to experience it. Just, you know, 2 days, cross it off your list, a little check mark there. And the cruise also does 3 days in Iceland and finishes in Reykjavik. And it's my understanding, Toronto to Reykjavik, we have plenty of flights for you to fly back from there.
Yeah, there is. Wow, that would be just phenomenal. Wow. Yeah, that's a real highlight to go into those. Oh shoot, I've lost the word. Like they're springs, and they kind of,
The,
they're warm, and you just bath right in it. The volcanic water, and
the thermal spas.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost the word. So yeah, I figured if I just kept rambling, it might come back, but it didn't. But yeah, the thermal spas are just phenomenal.
So cool. And with Celebrity, the journey is part of the destination. The drinks are included with Celebrity. The culinary and food is spectacular. So big, beautiful world out there. I think it's finally time that we go out and explore it.
Absolutely. I cannot agree with you more on that one. It's just great. Wow. Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much for all those great destinations to think about and to dream and to book. And like you said, that one way to Iceland and Greenland. Wow. And that's right there in our backyard from New York. So it's a quick flight, and then you can explore in Reykjavik for a couple of days after if you choose as well. And while you're there, I mean, if you're there, why not, right? Just spend another couple of days. That's kind of my way of doing things. I like to explore. We just did the Southern Caribbean, and we stayed 2 extra days in Aruba because it's Aruba. So we're just going to check it out. And I like to finish my cruise usually with some extra immersions. Sometimes before, but most of the time after, if it's a really nice one way and it's a destination I've always wanted to go to. So you just stay and explore longer. So
that's brilliant.
Yes. So thank you so much for this great discussion, and I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Kathleen. You as well. We'll talk soon.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this week's cruise chat with Maxine from Celebrity. It was so nice to discuss with her and to see the new trends, to talk about that brand new ship Celebrity Beyond, which by the time this video is uploaded will already be out, but there are so many itineraries with some space left. So make sure you contact me soon to get on that ship. It's just amazing. And of course, Captain Kate is at the helm as well. And we also discussed Celebrity. Now, we kind of alluded to what's included with everyone as they're moving towards more all-inclusive pricing, but we didn't really break it down. So I'm going to do that really quick for you right here. So there are 3 levels of Celebrity's all-inclusive pricing. So the first one is every single person gets this on board. So you're going to get your gratuities are going to be included. Your Wi-Fi is going to be included, and all of your basic beverages. And the basic beverages are up to around a $10 drink. So you're going to get your sodas, your coffees, your specialty coffees, teas, some cocktails, beers, things like that. But there is 2 more upgrades that you could do if you would like to have more options as well. And the second one is called Elevate, which is interesting because you're elevating it up, right? So the first upgrade is Elevate, and Elevate includes some onboard credit that you can get per cabin. It also includes much faster Wi-Fi, so I believe that they call it, surf and stream Wi-Fi, and you're also going to be able to have different beverages, different drinks. So that's always an option. So it's up to a higher dollar amount. And of course, you have the onboard credit too, that you could go and really spoil yourself and do a massage or put it towards a shore excursion. It's your choice, whatever you choose to do with your onboard credit. There also is one more level up called Indulge. And the Indulge package includes more onboard credit. It includes all the beverages that there is, except for when you purchase a bottle of wine or something like that, of course, because you're not going to get a large bottle. But everything by the glass would be most likely included in that. I can't see, I have to look at a whole bar menu to make sure, but mostly all of the beverages are included. And of course, a much faster Wi-Fi. And as I mentioned, a higher onboard credit amount. So there's lots of options and everything for everybody. There's lots of choices for Celebrity. And I love the ideas that they stay overnight. I mean, how beautiful would that be to stay over in Reykjavik or over in, as she said, in Cairns or Cairns, and exploring all of that area. And she timed it perfectly with the festival. So that is something to think about and to look for. And I would be glad to look for that for you. If you would like to talk about anything about any of the cruises that we've talked about with Maxine or with any of the other cruise lines, please reach out to me at info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Neil, and Neil's from Amma Waterways, and we are going to be discussing some of their river cruises. So it's a little bit of a change. I've been doing a lot of ocean cruising, but this time I'm going to be meeting with Neil, and Neil is from, as I said, from Amma Waterways, and we're going to be talking about their really, really beautiful itineraries and some of their great things that they have. Again, thank you so much. Make sure you've subscribed to our channel and hit that share button. We'll see you next week, guys. Goodbye.